We need each other. I need you. You need me. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Conversations with Lady A. I am glad that you're here today, and I want to introduce our special guest. Shawn Garland is here with us. She is an artist. And are you in Kansas City, Shawn?
I am. I'm in right outside of Kansas City in Liberty, Missouri.
Liberty, Missouri. I have not been there either. I got to get to Kansas City sometime. But I am glad that you're here with us today. Conversations with Lady A is just about having just plain conversations, see how we're doing during this pandemic period. I like to talk to artists, regular folks, people who are just living, because that's what we're doing right now. Tell me a little bit about your art and your art gallery.
So I have an art gallery that only has local artists represented there. So I have 25 artists there at the moment, and they do a range of things. I have painting and pottery, metal, sculpture, jewelry. It goes on and on. I never know what's going to walk in the door, because several of my artists do multiple mediums, and
So
it's always fun.
It's not just paint or oil painting or
No.
kinds of stuff. I wish I could go to your gallery.
I wish you could too.
I know, every time I travel, I don't know if you knew, but I'm a blues singer, and every time I travel, I go, especially when I'm abroad, I go to a museum or an art gallery. I love art. I love to see people paint. I like all kinds of art. I went to the Louvre the first time and wanted to see the Mona Lisa, right? Only to find out she was only that big.
Yeah.
Kind of disappointed, but it was great to be there anyway. But I love art. I like this mural that you have on the back.
Oh, thank you.
Did you do that?
I did. I moved in here a couple of years ago, and in fact, like 2 years and 2 days ago.
Wow.
And I had this big blank wall, and I decided that's what I was going to do. I have a little hard time, choosing art for my own place, because I have so many artists to choose from, and I have such great art, and I'm lucky. Oh, I also have. Oh, you probably can't see this one next to me, but
a little bit.
I went. Let's see. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's nice.
So I went in January, before all the crazy started happening. I went on a cruise. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
It was in January.
Yeah.
And we went to Haiti, and whenever I go somewhere, I make it a point to buy art from local artists. And so this artist was a street artist and had just beautiful art, and I just kind of believe that you kind of give where you receive, and it all comes around. So I always want to support local art wherever I am.
So in your art gallery, now you say you have all local artists, you've got like 25 different local artists. Is your artwork in there also?
Yes.
Because sometimes I'll sell other people's CDs, and then people will say, "Where's your CD?" And I go, "Oh, oops." Kind of thing.
Well, it's funny, because I have a hard time. It's very easy for me to sell other people's art, and it's not easy. It's never been easy for me to sell my own or sell myself, because that's what you're really doing. It's, you're selling yourself. And so having the gallery is kind of like my sneaky way of being able to sell myself.
I get
it. And so it's kind of fun when people are walking around and they'll say, "Oh, I like this and I like that," and then they'll hit one of mine, and it'll be like, "Oh, thank you."
Really? Have you ever been to and now I went to the Seattle Art Festival for the first time last year. My sister took me, and it's amazing that I'll go to every city and go to the art gallery. And
Oh,
she was the one who said, you gotta come, you need to come to the art festival. And it was fantastic. And so, as soon as we come out of this, I will be supporting artists, here in Seattle. So it's good
yeah,
to support local artists.
it's been an interesting time for sure.
How are you? So we were talking a little earlier, and you said you have not been to your art gallery since.
Well, I have been, but I'm limiting it somewhat because every time I leave, I disinfect the whole place.
Okay.
And so right now, we're in what they're calling phase 2, where I'm allowed to be open,
Really?
but I have a very small space. So you still have to be, 6 feet apart, and I require face masks, and I'm doing by appointment during the week.
Good for you.
And then on Saturdays, I'm just very limited. I'm 4 hours, which happens at the same time as our farmers market, which is right outside my door, basically. But I only allow 3 people in at a time. And they have to be distanced. And
have a mask on?
Yes, everybody has a mask on. I have a mask on. So really, unless I'm going in to meet someone, I haven't been going in a lot because I really do disinfect and really do clean it all up, and I want to make sure that it kind of stays that way. So the less I'm in there, really, the better, I think.
And that's good to hear. I fortunately get to work from home. I'm a singer who's always had a job. So, and right now I get to work from home. But I like to hear, and I know that it must be hard for someone who has their own business, and it's like, what do I do now? But I like to hear people who are being responsible, because they're trying to open up. They have not opened up everything here in Washington, but they're about to open up some places, and I think that people need to be responsible because this is not over. It's far from over.
And it's difficult, to make the public responsible. I've installed a doorbell at the front so that it's a video doorbell. So basically you have to ring the doorbell and I can see you. Right. And if you don't have a mask on, I ask you to put one on. Right. And I let you know whether you can come in or not. Yeah. And that's for their safety and my safety. And the face mask is really important with the art because it's not like I can go around cleaning paintings.
Right.
And so it's very important that they don't handle things, and that I handle everything with gloves, and because I really don't want to do this again.
Right. Exactly. It's like, can we get through this?
I want to get it over with, and I want it. I'd rather be completely closed down than have a whole nother session of this.
And are you doing okay? Let me ask that question. How are you doing?
Yeah. Interestingly, I've had a lot more time to create myself, which has been fun because I'm home. And so I basically brought my entire studio back home, and I've had a lot of time to create, which is great. I've gotten really very creative with my business. I just put up a slideshow. I'm doing slideshows of the art.
Yeah.
And how you can shop. If they want something, they can message me. I can email them an invoice. They can pay it online, and I'll bring it out curbside so they don't even have to come in. Really up to date on video. I've been putting videos together like crazy, which is something I'd wanted to do but really didn't have time to do before. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things that I've actually really enjoyed about this time is seeing how creative people have been.
Yes.
It's amazing. Human beings, we're all creators in whatever way it is. Whether you're a cook or a gardener or, my son is supposed to graduate on Saturday from college, and, he won't be able to do that. And, but everyone's being so creative with, oh, well, we're going to have a parade, or we're going to have,
Right.
we're going to do art on the sidewalks. So it's actually brought me a lot of joy to see humanity being so creative, and people that didn't even know they were creative have,
Right.
like gotten out of their box a little bit.
I definitely have gotten out of my box. I'm in a box now. Gotten out of my box. I never used before. It just would not have occurred to me. I've had to help my mom, be able to use, I had to get her a phone that was bigger and teach her how to use Duo so that she could see our faces.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's really tough on our elderly.
My mom and her twin sister had their 80th birthday.
Oh.
And we were all supposed to get together in Florida for the birthday, and we couldn't. And so I thought, and her twin sister lives in New York and she's in Florida. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a Zoom party for them. Well, it took a good 3 weeks of me calling all of these 80-year-old people,
right,
and doing Zoom tests,
and
to make sure that they could all show up. And my mom and aunt didn't know that all of these people were going to be on the Zoom. So I ended up having like 40 people on there, and it was challenging to get them all up to speed. Right. But it's kind of cool because once they learned how to do it, now they get to talk to their families. Right. And so it just, it was awesome.
I love elderly people. I always have. And, and now, when I realized, well, my mom's been quarantined for a month and we've only seen her through the screen door, my sister and I, we go by. It was like, okay, get her Duo. And as soon as I got that phone, her face lit up. To see their faces light up like that is amazing. Have you had a sidewalk art show yet? How do you feel about that?
Oh, right now? I mean, during this time?
At any time during this time, have you had one of those sidewalk art shows?
No, my town, you have to get all these permits and everything to do anything out on the sidewalk.
Oh, okay.
But we have several events and festivals during the year where I actually put a tent outside of my business, and I do it during the festivals.
Are you concerned about doing that anytime soon? They are going to be opening up some things. They have what's called Kent Cornucopia here in Seattle. It's just a little neighborhood festival, and like you said, they put the tents up. It's right down the street from my house. But I'm just a little concerned about going out.
Yeah, so right now we do have our farmers market going on downtown, and it's been a huge challenge. And I over and above being an artist, I also run the farmers market.
Oh, you are
on the side.
Tell me about that though, because how is running a farmers market with people coming in and out?
Yeah, it's been very interesting. We have our vendors are 20 feet apart. We have tape on the sidewalks. I personally look at it like this, and I would rather go to a farmer's market where I'm outside and I know that only that local farmer is touching my food, than even going to a grocery store where things have gone on and off a truck and through registers, and how many people have handled that food. So at the farmer's market, customers aren't allowed to handle the food. So they have to just sort of pick from a distance. We are doing some pre-ordering so they can actually drive up and the farmers will put it right in their car. We, have signs posted everywhere. Our sidewalks are one way, so you can only walk one way, so that their people aren't passing each other this way.
Right.
So
masks.
Masks are required.
So I actually love that idea. Because I do like farmers markets anyway. I love them anyway.
Yeah.
And I like the one way idea. I'm not opposed to things opening up because I realize that people need to make a living. And yes. I know that is very important, especially now. That's very important. Grocery store workers, farmers markets, nurses, the whole thing. But I want responsible people such as yourself. Hearing that would make me come to your farmers market.
Well, and that's been a huge challenge because, you can't make people do the right thing.
True.
And so the way I've approached it through social media and our website and everything else, and through the media, through the regular media, newspaper, radio, right. Is basically like I always did with my children. And that is, I believe in you. I believe in this community. I believe you're going to do the right thing. And because the city will shut us down if you don't.
Right. And has it been working well for you?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part,
the occasional person who doesn't want to put a mask on.
Yeah. And it's hard because we've also encouraged people to shop solo and not bring their whole family. So it's basically make a list, shop solo, get in, get out, do what you need to do and move along so that we don't have, a problem with congregating.
So many different aspects to once people are allowed to get out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard because the market is the place where everybody comes to hang out and have coffee and, it's right in the middle of our historic downtown square. So it's a beautiful area, people walk down there and, it's usually a good business day for the people that have, because my gallery is right there too. And so it's hard to shift because, people are kind of, I don't know, I want to say like homesick, they're like, it's that same feeling of, they want that feeling of being together.
I love farmers markets, music and art, right. and food, and that's how you get to know your neighbors, kind of thing.
Right.
But
right.
I think inherently people are good. Yes, we have the few folks that aren't going to do the right thing. We can ask, but this is the new abnormal for right now.
It is.
I'm going to ask you a question now. Let's play a game. We're almost done.
Okay.
Thank you so much, but let's play a game.
All right.
So, for those out there, we know that we need to stay quarantined and we need to take care of others because by taking care of others, we are taking care of ourselves. So I have decided that I am going to stay quarantined until Martha and the Vandellas tell me when Jimmy Mack is coming back. That's how long I'm going to stay in quarantine. What about you, Shawn?
Well, I'm going to stay in quarantine until Marvin Gaye figures out what's going on.
There you go. You have another one?
Oh, yeah. I have to tell you, I cheated a little bit.
That's okay.
Because my son is an amazing musician.
Okay.
And I knew he would have so much fun helping me with this because I drew a big blank. I was like, I don't know any songs. I don't know any, and I do.
But once you get started, though.
Yes, yeah. And so let's see. I'll be in quarantine until the Rolling Stones get some satisfaction.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah.
I have one more question to ask you. So during quarantine, so have you had any weird dreams out of the crazy dreams?
I think I've had, I must have a lot of anxiety that I don't really realize because it's coming out in my dreams and not, not being able to sleep well and being on really weird schedules. I mean, I've been up since, of course, out here it's 3:45. Well, it's 4.
Is it 4? Yeah.
And I've been up since 4 a.m. because I just, the cycle's not happening.
Right.
And so, yeah, you know, I've had, there are more anxiety dreams that are just kind of bad. And so I'm trying not to watch too much news. You know, I'm just getting my local news. And the minute they start talking about, you know, this morning, it was a study on how long COVID-19 is staying airborne. And I'm like, oh God, now I can't even breathe. You know, I don't want to know. I mean, there comes a point where it's like, I just don't want to know.
Right.
So now tonight I'll have some kind of dream about little monsters in the air or something.
Well, we're going to pray that you don't. Thank you so much, Shawn, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us the name of your art gallery. I'm sorry.
It's the Artisan Market, and you can find it at Liberty Artisan Market on Facebook or libertyartisanmarket.com online.
So much for sharing with us, and we will talk to you later. This is Lady A, Shawn Garland, out of Kansas City from Liberty Art. Be blessed and be a blessing.
We need each other.